Right now, as you are listening to these words, you are probably doing something incredibly dangerous for your survival. No, you aren't staring down a saber-toothed tiger, nor are you hunting mammoths in a blizzard. You are just sitting, maybe in a plush office chair or slouched on a soft sofa, eyes glued to a screen. To you, this feels like the ultimate relaxation after a long day. But to your skeletal framework, which has been evolving for over 4 million years, this posture is nothing short of medieval torture. And the culprit behind that dull, throbbing ache in your lower back isn't your age, nor is it a cheap mattress. It's actually a debt of blood and bone you are paying for one of the boldest moves in human evolutionary history. Walking upright on two legs. As it turns out, your aching back is at the tax you pay for being human. Most of us think of back pain as just a normal part of life. You lift a slightly heavy box, hear a sickening pop, and spend 3 days in bed wondering where your life went wrong. We blame our lack of exercise, long office hours, or that confusing IKEA chair. But if you look around the natural world, you will notice something bizarre. No dog, cat, or horse ever has to go to acupuncture or buy pain patches for a herniated disc. We humans are the only creatures on this planet who spend billions of dollars every year on massage guns, chiropractors, and weirdly shaped ergonomic pillows. Why did evolution, an incredibly ruthless and refined process of natural selection, leave such a massive design flaw right in the center of our bodies? The answer isn't a stupid mistake. It's a complex life or death trade-off. To understand why our backs are so vulnerable, we have to travel back millions of years to a time when our ancestors still walked on all fours. Imagine the body of a quadrupedal animal, like a dog or a chimpanzee. Their spine operates horizontally, much like a highly stable suspension bridge. Supported by two sturdy pairs of legs acting as bridge towers, the heavy internal organs, stomach, intestines, liver, hang suspended beneath the spine like a hammock. In this brilliant mechanical design, gravity pulls everything down perpendicular to the spine. Because of this, weight is distributed evenly across all four limbs, and the discs between the vertebrae experience almost zero direct compression. Even if there is pressure, it is dispersed along the entire length of the bridge. This is why a cheetah can sprint at 100 kilometers per hour, landing high-impact jumps without ever suffering from lower back pain or sciatica. Their horizontal spine was born for this, but then our ancestors decided, walking on four legs is boring, let's stand up. About 4 million years ago, due to climate shifts shrinking jungles into open savannas, or the need to free up hands to carry food and make tools, our ancestors began to stand up and walk on two legs. This historic decision changed the fate of humanity forever, but it also officially placed a ticking time bomb on our backs. In an evolutionary blink of an eye, the perfect horizontal suspension bridge was stood upright at 90 degrees, turning into a vertical load-bearing column. Try standing a horizontal suspension bridge straight up. What happens? The entire structure collapses instantly. That is exactly the mechanical challenge evolution faced when uprighting the human spine. If our spine were as straight as a wooden pillar, we wouldn't be able to balance on two legs. The center of gravity of our upper body would lie too far forward, causing us to fall flat on our faces with every step. To solve this, evolution executed a brilliant but risky design pivot. It bent our spine into an S shape. Your S-shaped spine has two curves pointing outward at your chest and tailbone, and two curves pointing inward at your neck and lower back, known medically as lordosis. This S-curve design acts like a giant shock-absorbing spring. Every time you walk, run, or jump, this spring compresses and rebounds to absorb the impact, protecting your precious brain from violent shocks. But this spring has a fatal physical flaw. When you bend a vertical structure into an S shape, the points of curvature become areas of extreme mechanical stress. And in your body, the sharpest bend is at your lower back, specifically the last two vertebrae. L4 and L5, where the spine meets the pelvis. Every time you stand upright, the entire weight of your head, arms, chest, and stomach, accounting for over 60% of your total body mass, presses straight down on this tiny lumbar bottleneck. L4 and L5 don't just have to support that weight. They also have to twist and bend whenever you lean, rotate, or bend over. It's like forcing a tiny soldier to carry a heavy wardrobe on his shoulders for 16 hours a day. all while performing a graceful dance. Sooner or later, that soldier is going to break. If we only stood upright, our backs might not hurt as much as they do now. Our hunter-gatherer ancestors walked an average of 10 to 15 kilometers every single day. They stood, they ran, they climbed, and when they rested, they squatted. When you squat, your pelvis remains neutral, and your thigh and glute muscles bear the load, naturally protecting your lower back. But then the Industrial Revolution arrived, bringing with it an invention that could be considered the number one enemy of the human spine. The chair today, we sit for an average of 8 to 10 hours a day. We sit while eating breakfast, sit during our commute, sit at an office desk, and then sit on the couch watching TV in the evening. Evolutionarily speaking, this is an unprecedented biological disaster. When you sit in a standard chair, the 90-degree bend at your hips locks your pelvis and rotates it backward. This completely flattens the natural S-curve in your lower back, bending it into a backward C-curve. Now, the spring's shock-absorbing mechanism is deactivated. The pressure squeezing the discs in your lower back jumps by 50% compared to when you are standing. To make matters worse, our bodies operate on a use-it-or-lose-it principle. When you sit too much, your glutes, the largest and strongest muscle group in your body, meant to support your spine, go into a state of hibernation, a phenomenon known as glute amnesia. Your abdominal core muscles also wither away from lack of use. With the supporting muscle groups completely checked out and asleep, the entire weight of your body falls directly onto your skeletal frame and solitary lumbar discs. It's like a skyscraper having all its external steel reinforcement beams removed, leaving only a raw brick elevator shaft in the middle to support the entire building. And so disaster strikes. To understand where real lower back pain comes from, look inside the structure of the spine. Between your rock-hard vertebrae are soft intervertebral discs. Think of a disc like a jelly-filled donut. The outer shell, the annulus fibrosus, is a ring of tough rubbery fibers, while the inner core, the nucleus pulposus, is a soft, highly elastic gel that absorbs impacts. Since these discs have no direct blood supply, they can only absorb nutrients and water through osmosis when we move, like a sponge that needs to be squeezed and released underwater to flush out waste and draw in fresh water. When you sit still for hours, the disc sponge is compressed continuously without release. It dehydrates, becoming dry, brittle, and prone to tearing. Then, on a beautiful day, you bend over to pick up a pen from the floor with a curved back, or try to lift a heavy plant pot without bending your knees. The pressure on the front of your vertebrae spikes suddenly, squeezing the disc like pinching one side of a jelly donut. The dry, brittle outer shell at the back tears open. The inner jelly immediately squirts out. This is a herniated disc. The herniated gel itself isn't bone, so it doesn't cause pain directly. The problem is that right behind the disc lies the spinal cord and sensitive nerve roots, the main fiber optic internet cables controlling the lower half of your body. When the herniated gel presses against these nerves, it sends intense, burning, electric shock-like pain shooting down your glutes, thighs, and calves, the terrifying nightmare called sciatica. In response, your body triggers a massive inflammatory reaction to protect the injured area, causing your back muscles to seize up like stone to lock the spine in place. This is why your back feels completely stiff and you can't stand up straight. But don't despair and blame Mother Nature. Your back isn't a design failure. It is actually a load-bearing masterpiece of mechanical engineering placed in the wrong modern environment. Walking upright freed our hands to build tools, write, paint, and construct civilization. It also made us 4 times more energy efficient than chimpanzees when traveling, giving our ancestors the endurance to run prey down to exhaustion. Back pain is the tax, the evolutionary levy we pay for our big brains and dexterous hands. However, we don't have to suffer this pain forever. You don't need to quit your office job and return to living in caves. The solution is simple. Give your spine back what evolution designed it for. Stand up and walk around for a few minutes every 45 minutes of sitting to pump water and nutrients back into your discs. Strengthen your glutes and core muscles, the loyal protectors you've ignored for so long. And when you need to lift something heavy, remember to bend your knees and use the power of your legs, rather than forcing your poor back to carry the entire load. Your back has carried the entire history of human evolution to bring you where you are today. Now, it's time for you to support it back. What do you think about this painful evolutionary journey of our spine? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your coworkers who are also clutching their backs in the next office.